Hey friends, racers, Happy New Year, Happy Monday. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend, a relaxing weekend. I took some time to relax, to get outside and play a little bit, so it was super fun, super exciting. And I feel super rejuvenated and recharged for this week. And I love Mondays, so there's that too. I was reflecting on some conversations today, some conversations I had with my brother when I saw him over the holidays, some conversations I've had with some friends recently. And it all stems around like, who do we listen to when it comes to our training? There's all this stuff that we can listen to. The four that come to my mind, though, are we have our mind of telling us, like, I need to train today because it's just what I do. We have our body, which tells us how we actually feel. Does it feel good? Are we energized? Are we having pain? Are we fatigued? Like, our body tells us a lot if we truly listen to it. And then there is our coach who tells us what to do, essentially. And our training plan that we have, that we essentially tend to follow, especially if you're training for any long races. A lot of times we have those long-term training plans that tell you what to do, how much, when, how fast, all that sort of thing. So there's all this stuff going around, and it can be tough to know, like, which do we actually listen to on a daily basis? I know this is coming from me personally. My routine, logical, like to have a schedule per self, really wants to stick to that training plan. I look at a training schedule and I think, this is what I'm supposed to do today. This is what I'm going to do. I think to myself, I always go to the gym in the morning, so that's what I'm going to do. And I really like that routine. I like that structure. The logical side of me says, you just train. That's my mind. That's my looking at my training schedule. It's you train. This is what you do. And then there's the other side of me who I'm learning to listen to a lot better. And that is actually listening to my body and what it is feeling. So there was a day last Tuesday actually, I was planning to go to Olympic lifting class. I was just exhausted. I knew it wasn't going to be productive or successful for me, so I didn't go. There's many workouts that, my body's just not feeling it. So yeah, I could probably do whatever rep scheme, weights, speed I'm supposed to, or what's written down for me. But I know my body's not feeling it. I know it's not going to be a positive situation if I do that. So I back down, or maybe I just take a rest day that day. And I'm really starting to learn to listen to what my body actually is feeling, what my body actually needs, rather than what my mind, that logical side of me, is telling me that it wants to do. And then there's the coach. The coach, and it really depends on your coach too. But your coach is always should have your best interest in mind, that if you aren't feeling it, then like maybe we need to back it down, and should really be listening to what you need, as far as if you're overly stressed, if you haven't slept well, maybe we need to back down your speed or back down your reps or back down your resistance and just kind of move a little bit, rather than really pushing through. Because ultimately our bodies are more than just training session is more than just a training session. A training session is everything encompassed into one. If we aren't sleeping well, if our stress levels are high, we aren't going to perform as well. We can break our bodies down more if we actually try to push through that. So there's a side of things that a coach needs to really be looking at the whole picture, rather than just the what are you doing in this training session today. And why this really comes to mind is the conversation I had with my brother years after we were both out of high school. He had a conversation with our cross-country coach, who told him, like, I don't know how I got you guys to do all that stuff. And so it just really got me thinking about sometimes with dealing with coaches that there definitely are coaches out there that just give you a training plan, tell you what to do, and expect you to do that. And it doesn't matter how your body's feeling or what you're feeling that day. Because ultimately we tend to trust we build a rapport with our coaches. We tend to trust our coaches. And so that's what we're going to follow. And so we just kind of listen to them. And we forget sometimes the coaches forget that we are still human and that we still have other things going on with the rest of our lives, and that those do need to be taken into account as well. So there's a lot of things that kind of play into that coach-client, coach-athlete relationship that need to be taken into account when we're dealing with those relationships. Ultimately, at the end of the day, when we are assessing things and working to figure out what we do on a daily basis when it comes to our training, there's really not one specific thing that we're looking at, that we're listening to, because it's all encompassed. We need to, yes, we want to listen to that logical side. We want to work hard. We want to push ourselves. So we do want that mental side of things. But at the same time, we need to get an understanding of what our body is actually feeling, what is going on with the body, and find a good balance, a good meld between those two. And yes, we do have that training plan, but we do need to adjust things accordingly based on what we're feeling. So it may be you're following that training plan, but instead of doing, all the intervals on there, maybe you do 2/3 of them because you're just not totally feeling it, but you can do a little bit. Or you're going to get that same amount of mileage in, but you're just going to do a long, easy run just to get that mileage rather than pushing the pace. Or maybe you're just going lighter in weight just to get your body moving rather than really pushing the strength side of things. So there's a lot of things that we need to take into account that we do need to play with, and we do need to listen to when it comes to what we do on a daily basis with our training. So that's my thoughts for you. It's a learning process for me as well. Don't worry. I'm definitely learning to listen to my body more because there was a long time that I didn't do that, and I definitely paid for it. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Comment below if you can relate to this. I would love to understand that. If you can relate to this, that any stories that you have would be awesome as well. If you're willing to share those, any feedback you have would be great. So have an awesome rest of your Monday, guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye.